Hi, everyone. We're back again. It is Thursday morning in Australia and Wednesday evening for myself and the beautiful Olivia Deppes, who is with us here from Edmonton, Canada. We have mother and daughter again this week, and I just get to tag along for fun. I have to keep them both on their toes. So tonight today rather, we're gonna talk a little bit about how to choose a beauty professional. And it's very, very dear to all of our hearts. And we really want to help you figure out what to look for and what to watch out for. So having said that, I'm gonna let Elle take it away.
Isn't that just an amazing introduction? I mean, I think that you're going to be introducing us like this is a constant. I just want to let you know now because you did such a good job. Hi, Olivia. How are you?
Hi, I'm good.
We have to be honest. We've already had a mother-daughter chat today, so it's like not like I'm seeing you the first time. So it's kind of it's Olivia again. That's fine, you know. Sabrina, I haven't seen you for a couple of weeks. So how have you been? How's everything going? You've had the 4th of July in the States, and I know you've got your bottle of. What have you got? A glass of wine?
I have a nice little Chardonnay here. So Olivia and I are having happy hour.
You guys
have a beer. You're having your morning drink.
I'm having it's kind of a bit weak and actually it's really great coffee, I have to admit. So okay.
Cheers, Sabrina.
Right.
Cheers, Olivia. The last time I saw Olivia was in Las Vegas. So
yeah, that was like
we enjoy wine together.
What are we going to do? Look, everyone's just talking over each other. How do we get that, girls? A whole bunch of women, throw them together, and this is what happens.
That's what we do.
Really, really important topic today. Very, very important. And I want to really hone in on it. And I want to give our listeners, our audience, absolute clear tips, things to watch out for, things to move in, because we're kind of living in a world of make-believe a little bit. And what do I mean by that? I think that Facebook, Instagram, all the social media platforms have really kind of pushed out this kind of make-believe kind of fantasy world. It's almost like a little bit of a vortex in a way that we can get sucked into. We have to understand what these platforms are all for, don't we? And you're going to get all types of people on these platforms. So for me, I think one of the things that stand out is character, the person's character. It doesn't matter how good their Instagram is, what are their values and what is their character like? Because if you don't know that, then you don't know what you're throwing yourself into. And what do I mean by that? I'm going to expand on that a little bit. One of the things with TRUEBROW, for example, my international brand, that we're on the page, so we all know that that's we're here and we talk about that quite a lot because we want to use that as an example of what it can be like in the beauty industry. It's kind of like creating a new kind of level of value systems and ethos in the industry. I think that that's one of the things I love the most about TRUEBROW is that even we select, and Sabrina, and even though Olivia is my daughter, if she wasn't the right candidate, she wouldn't be doing this. There's the woman herself is how we select our salon owners. And funnily enough, we seem to attract the most incredible, amazing people. It really is beautiful with such strong integrity, authenticity, and dedication. It takes that to be a great beauty brow professional, doesn't it?
It does. It does.
And are you going to say something about that? Like, is there how much of that drink?
I think. Pardon? How much have I had? No, actually, this is it. Just a little bit. No, I definitely agree with you. It absolutely takes dedication to be a great brow artist. It takes a lot of dedication, and I think love and passion to be a great brow artist. You have to love what you do.
Yeah, and I think that Olivia, you would agree with this. Like, that I never have you coming, either of you, to me and acting as if you know everything, which is kind of amazing for me because you're a head educator in the States. Olivia is about to educate in Canada and has got an incredible business as well. And I never have a problem with giving you feedback, even still, even though, obviously it doesn't happen as much anymore. But I felt like if I wanted to give you or needed to give you feedback, I wouldn't have, I just know you'd be so open to it. And I know that even still, you it's amazing to me.
And it would not surprise me.
No, I'm sorry, but you know what? Doesn't happen.
That's not. I mean that lovingly. It would not. it would not surprise me that because you also feel open enough to say, here's what you need to know.
Yeah, and you know what I love about that? That's the character that I'm talking about. You know, that it's not a personal thing, is it, Olivia? Like if I come to you the other day, I told you about a pair, some brows that you put up, and I didn't think they were level. Do you remember?
Yeah, I know. You do that all the time.
No, I
Don't worry, Olivia. I've woken up to a
No,
message.
but I want to say that I do love that. Like I love the detail in, you know, like I'll put a brow up and maybe, you know, it's still in progress or something like that, and Mum will always tell me, you know, that one's not, you know, that's not level, and I'm like, oh. And it's just nice to have that feedback, actually, because you're in something where they actually care that much, you know, where the educators care that much to make sure that every brow is just, even if it's like one, you know, a millimeter or something of hair.
Even if it's just one hair, darling.
One hair.
But I think one of the things about that is that comes to me when you're choosing a beauty professional is someone that their craft, their skill, that yes, they're so in love with it and they don't take it personally. It's like, oh really? Because all they want is what's best for their client. And look, in the world we have different ecosystems. We have people that are business people, and you know, like they want people in and out fast. They want them to buy heaps of product. You know, it's all about that bottom line. That's okay, we're in business, but you know, at the end of the day, we've proven at TRUEBROW that you can actually go in with such a level of authenticity and dedication and have 60 people on your waiting list and have an extraordinary exponentially, you know, like a business is growing exponentially, and you don't have to, under any circumstances, ever step away from what is best for my client. That's what I'm sticking to. That's it. I'm not moving with the trends. I'm not, you know, it's like having a person that is a pillar. And these are the girls that do the very, very best. And so when you're looking for a beauty professional, a brow professional, you know, that whole vortex of social media, you know, there's angles. I mean, you would know, Olivia, right? How many photos do you take on an angle? And you think, wow, that looks really awesome. And you put that out there. You know, angles in photography, Sabrina, you do the same thing. You know, there's so many girls that we put out these photos, and then what happens is that people are seeing these beautiful photos. They're not considering, you know, well, hang on a minute, not your photos, girls, because I know that you also put out, you know, full front photos, like full on. What I mean is like, you know, the full face. They're the ones you got to look out for, right? Especially with brows. So I always say to my TRUEBROW students, you know, the way to be the most honest and do and offer the community, those women looking to choose a brow professional, is to not neglect those full front photos where everything is seen. You know, it's kind of like you can't hide a thing. You can't pretend the brow looks good. You can't do an Insta photo where it looks fantastic and then you look at it straight on and it looks like, oh, I wish I'd done this, I wish I'd done that, right? So, you know, there are all these little things to watch out for, and especially with microblading or henna or any of these sort of trends and alternatives and quick fixes. Look at the front view of a brow. Like, what does it make the woman look like, you know? Maybe, you know, like I know that you girls post a lot of work that's they've got no makeup on, you know, so it's kind of like they're not all done up and dressed up and dolled up with big massive lashes, and you know, that's what's creating the beauty. The brow itself is what needs to be seen. What does it look like, you know, face on? Does that make sense?
It does. I do think that because I have been trained to educate, and I educate a lot, as does and will Olivia, even on photos that are angled to the side to sort of make the brow look pretty, I can still tell that the brow is not level. But the consumer is not looking at that.
Yeah,
they
that's
don't
the
know,
thing, isn't it?
Don't know to look for that. Right.
Yeah, and this is what we're, you know, this is the whole point of really being here with in Beautilicious and actually speaking to the women and saying, you know, look out for yourself. You know, like we want to trust, and we want a trusted source when we're looking for solutions to our beauty, but you've really got to find, you know, what aligns you with your values. Like I know for you, Olivia, the women that come to you want the absolute best, and you, Sabrina, right? Would you speak a little bit, Olivia, about that? You know, the women that come to you, and like I know that they're just so generous with you too, because they're so excited about how well you do. You get very generous tips, I must admit. I'm always really surprised. I'm always really surprised at that. I just think,
I tell my mom.
But it's just so beautiful, because what that means, what does that mean to you when someone does that? Like, you know, what does that mean to you?
Yeah, I think that they just see that there's the attention to detail. They sense that I actually really care about, you know, the end result of a brow, you know, and I think they just care about quality, and they don't always know where to look for it. They might just stumble onto the quality, and then they're like, wow, like this is amazing, and then they're just overwhelmed by seeing like that. Yeah, I think that that's kind of what it's like.
No, I love that. I love that. I love that whole idea too. In the States, we're not really we don't tip really here in Australia, as you remember, Olivia. But you know, in Canada and in the States, you go there and you're kind of a bit shocked, because you know you've always got to have cash on you, even if you want someone to carry your bags at the airport. And if you've got no American dollars, well, you're a bit stuffed, aren't you? Really, you're sitting there going, "Oh, is he going to do that for nothing? I can't do that. You know, I've got to carry my own bags." Or it's kind of like a whole cultural thing.
So different.
But what I love about that when it comes to beauty is that you can be like valued so much. Like they're giving back to you above and beyond even what you're asking, because you're giving them such quality. These are the professionals you need to be looking for. The ones that even you would go, you know what, I'd pay her anything, because I know she cares so deeply about me. And this is one of the things that is a key thing in the ethos of TRUEBROW, is that the women that come to me that I select to move forward, I have to feel it in them. I don't know how that is. I am a little bit weird when it comes to that intuitive thing. I can get a sense. I've made a couple of, you know, boo-boos. I'm allowed. I'm a human being. I'm allowed to not get it right all the time. But the majority of the time, I have to say, you know, the women that come to us, you know, they're just so, that's why they love TRUEBROW in a way, because they're so in love with the ethos of our company. And it has to be about client first. So whenever you're looking for a beauty professional, you always have to feel into your body, into your own intuition, when you're speaking to the person, when you're looking at their Instagram, when you're looking at their Facebook, when they speak, how they speak. You know, look into, are they really deeply concerned? Is my client comes first? Is the client coming first? The needs of the client. And is this person strong enough to withstand these fads and trends? And, you know, are they a leader in their industry where they're going to stand by you regardless of the trends and the fads? Are they going to always be giving you what is best for you, not what new thing is out that possibly may not be the very best for you, but they don't have the strength to hold, to be the pillar for you? And I think that's the key, isn't it?
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, for me, I want someone strong enough to be able to say, you know, I just, to disagree with me, actually, you know, someone to say to me, you know what, I know you really want this.
Yes.
But you know what, I want to talk to you about it first, like, and be, you know what, I want a trusted source when I'm looking for anything about my health, for example. I mean, you all know about food and health, you know, it's all the big things for me. But like, I want someone that can actually look at me straight in the eye and stand up for me when I don't know all the facts. You know, that someone that's got the courage, that's fearless in that, because they care about me enough to put themselves out in a position where they might not agree with me. And I might even turn around and go, oh, well, I might go and get that done anyway. You know, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
But does that make sense to everyone?
Yeah. Wouldn't you also say that with social media and Instagram, like, I'm just trying to go into like the mind or the body of, you know, someone that isn't in beauty, someone who maybe has just a different sense of quality. How do they actually find in the whole huge, you know, social media thing, how do they find
Their
that
person,
as
how do they
well?
find their person? Yeah.
No,
Right.
how do they find their person? Like to
Yeah.
really, because there's so much out there.
We love you too, Caroline. Just saying hi. And if you're
Oh,
watching,
yay.
girls, yeah, we'd love you to just say where you're located and just type in, I'm da 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 here, and I don't agree with you, Al, or you know, oh, that sounds good, or isn't Olivia pretty? And look at Sabrina, how gorgeous does she look? And I want a beer too. Whatever you want to say, it's all fine. I think that that's a really valid question, and I honestly believe that one of the key things with that is doing your research. Stop believing everyone has your best interests at heart. Oh, I know it sounds terrible. And I know beauty professionals are going to be like, the ones that are aligned with what I'm saying, going to love what I'm saying. You're going to love it. I know who you are. And you're going to be going, oh, Al, thanks. Thank you for saying that, right? But there's going to be some people that are going to not like what I'm saying. That's not going to be a first time, but that's okay too. But I think that do your research to find your person, find out what the character of this person is. What is her purpose? You know, is she 100% committed to offering you, the woman that steps into her salon, absolutely what is best for you? Will she fight for you? You know, I got to a stage with my clients, and Olivia can attest to this, where they trusted me so much. And I know Sabrina would be exactly like that for the both of you, for yourself and for Olivia too. They never questioned me in the end. What, you know, when I would recommend something, they would just say, okay, I need that. Okay. Because that doesn't happen because of any other reason, but because I was a safe space for them. I was a trusted source, and they really believed that. You know, that's an energetic thing, isn't it? It's kind of like you feel that about a human being. So it is hard on social because you're not feeling the person. But I have to say, the way people write, the way they share, there's a lot to be sort of seen in that. And of course,
What they share.
what they share,
Yeah.
send them a direct message, communicate with them, ask them a question, see how they write back to you, and look at their reviews. That's the top thing. Look at reviews. You know, reviews can be a funny thing because you know, you can also have like a clash in personality. You know, like sometimes people might not like you and they go and write something horrible, which isn't even really a reflection of who you are. People can do stuff like that. So reviews are important, but bad reviews, I don't know. What do you think about that, about reviews and that kind of thing?
I think in particular with bad reviews, I don't necessarily think you should take them with a grain of salt, but I think you need to look at, you need to take into account all of the reviews.
Yeah.
Like if there's, like for instance, from personal experience, I had a woman who, so I had a client long before COVID-19, we shut down. I had a client who was at an event at a hotel, and she went to the front desk to ask a question. And the woman behind the front desk was raving about her brows. And she said, Sabrina, she literally would not take care of me until I had given her your information. Well, the woman, you know, I work alone in a studio. I don't have a front desk. I'm very clear on my message. I also say, please, you know, leave a message or text me, because I see my texts very quickly and I'll get back in touch with you. And so she never left a message. She did not text me. So in her mind, she didn't get in touch with me. Right. So she left a review and left me 1 star saying, could not get in touch with, very disappointing. And I'm thinking, well, you clearly didn't listen to my message. Yeah. And I'm very sorry. So then of course I did a lot of research. How do I respond? What do I say? And you know, I certainly apologized to her, and I was very clear and was clear with her again. Yeah. So I went through all of those motions, but someone who actually never even met me, yes, destroyed my rating on Google. Oh, crazy, isn't it? That's so amazing. Now I've had to like take time. Now I'm back. So if we just want to talk numbers, I had a five star. She took me, not even knowing me, took me down to a 4.1. Wow. And now I'm back up to a 4.7. So as people keep giving me reviews, but that's taken months to get back. You know, this is key. And I want people to, even that are listening to this, that leave reviews, really just
just take care of words. And this is coming from feeling and emotion, actually, not from feeling. So people can get emotional, and in that emotion, they can write something. And I've always said this, and I will continue to say it. You now have more freedom, as a society has more freedom to express themselves about something. But you have to take responsibility for that freedom. Otherwise, you can't be given more freedom. So when you're reviewing like a business, someone who puts their heart and their soul, like especially Sabrina, into everything that she does, and then when you have Olivia and all of, so many girls in the beauty industry, and you decide because you have an emotion that you haven't worked through yet, and maybe you're not actually stepping back and looking at the bigger picture of things, that you go in and you write something. I beg you, as a consumer, as a woman out there, I beg you, please stop, think, don't do it until you've cleaned it up inside yourself first, communicated possibly with the person, and then go ahead. Now, this doesn't mean if, you were burnt, if you were scarred, if you were, your lashes all fell out, or you want to warn people because something pretty serious has happened and has happened again and again, or whatever. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about those small little things that could just be something that's out of the blue, that isn't constant for that person. Like in your situation, the freedoms in this world that we are given give us more responsibility. They make us, they offer us the opportunity to be free with our speech and expression, but also to be more responsible about what we do with that freedom. And as I said, I'm asking you, when you are leaving reviews and it's not a great review, do your due diligence first, connect with the person, find out what it was that actually happened, and honor your fellow women, because most of the women in the beauty industry are really good people and they're really trying their very, very best. And things can happen, as in this situation. So that's something that, yes, you should expect from beauty professionals the very, very best. And you should expect, to be choosing people. You'd want to be choosing people that put you first. But you too need to consider, as the consumer and women of the world, that you're dealing with another person's reputation. You're dealing with, something that they put in so much energy into and so much love the majority of the time. So I think that's a really key, that sort of goes hand in hand, doesn't it? It really is a relationship. So, how does that sound to you, Olivia? What are your thoughts about that?
Yeah, I think it's really important, because you do have to give room to like the little things that people may it's life, right? Like things can just happen, and that to have more perspective when dealing with like a 1-star review, because that's pretty brutal.
It's brutal.
I
think it's important to just give someone the opportunity to make it right, especially if it's like you said, the distinction between what you were discussing, Elle. Always give someone the opportunity to make it right.
I agree 100%. But, so now that we've sort of covered that, I want to go back to our topic today, is how do we pick a beauty professional? And, I think, all of us are learning, even in the beauty industry. We're all learning on a deeper level, not just our skill, our craft, what we do, but we're always evolving our character. We're evolving our values. Our values don't just sit there and stay like that for our whole lives. Well, we hope that they don't. We hope that we can move through and kind of do a bit of an upgrade. I know that I have in my life, I've upgraded many, many times. Let's not go talking about that, but I have. And I love that I get to do that. So I think that's what's really, really important, is to explore like you were talking about certificates, Sabrina, you wanted to bring that up. Explore beyond the kind of superficial stuff you're seeing. That's what social media is really giving us. It's the superficial. And you might think a pretty photo means that person's going to give you right? Or that's even real. I mean, half the time you don't even know. But one of the things that's really key is go beyond the superficial, girls, when you're choosing your beauty professional, and especially for your daughters, if you're mums and you're choosing a brow expert for your daughter's brows. You know, that's really key, isn't it? So Sabrina, you wanted to share something about certificates and so on.
Well, I can really only speak to the States, Elle, because of course we're quite regulated here. And when you do work in any capacity in the beauty industry in the States, you have to be licensed and you have to have gone to a formal school. And a lot of that, with regards to the beauty industry, whether you're choosing simply to do brows or not, is becoming even longer education. So a lot of regulations around that. But for me, in particular, in the brow industry, because and you know, this extends actually quite far beyond the brow industry. It can extend into the medical field, because you have a lot of doctors who decide they want to make money off of doing injections and things like that. So they take a 3-day course and they come back and they're great at Botox.
Wow.
Well, they're not.
Yeah.
So I think it's really important to understand that just because someone has a certificate, in particular in the brow industry, I can speak to that with a degree of expertise, that you aren't necessarily an expert. You may have taken a 2-day course. You may have had coursework. You may not even have had any coursework. You may have just met a celebrity and spent the day watching them do brows. And you go home with a certificate that says trained by
so-and-so. Drives me mad,
Oh,
Sabrina, I'm
That's
sorry.
crazy.
Drives me mad, drives me
So
mad.
take that with a grain of salt.
Yeah, it's such a key thing. And I mean, in Canada, and I know here in the States, New Zealand, and many parts, many countries around the world, regulations are very, very poor. So, you know, you can have people that all of a sudden have done lash courses and they're out there then wanting to do microblading and wanting to do, you know, and they've done these courses and they've got a certificate on the wall. So certificates really, you know, you have to go beyond certifications. Like, we don't give out certificates. You know, we're a mastery-based education program. So basically we have a directory, and that's how we keep our girls on the cutting edge of, you know, you're on the cutting edge. You know, you might need to improve a little bit more, and there's always the next and the next and the next. And how much have we developed really when you think about TRUEBROW, now that we've got all these microblading fails and issues and problems that people are having to solve? We have developed so much because of all the trends that are coming in and all the fails that we're up against and we have to try to fix. And it's kind of sensational, isn't it, really? So if someone had a certificate with me like 6 years ago and they haven't done anything, they haven't continued, but it's on their wall, that doesn't mean that they've kept up. It doesn't mean that they've continued to grow. It doesn't mean that they've continued to improve their skill to work with the sort of kind of issues that are coming through now. It doesn't really mean that at all. And so, you know, one of the things that we've changed is not giving them. And I know I copped a bit of flack, as I say all the time, about that. And, you know, people get upset with me, and, you know, it's okay. I don't like people being upset with me, to be really honest with you. It's not my favorite thing. But sometimes I just have to take a stand, and I just think, oh, I'm just going to, you know. And like Olivia, you came on board and you were doing hairdressing, and then you did a swap to brows. How many hours did you spend on your education? Like, how much time, you know, like, it's just unbelievable, isn't it? So imagine if you just decided to do brows and just went and did a 2-hour course or a 1-day or 2-day course. You could do it, couldn't you? You literally could.
As in, do you mean that I could do that, but it wouldn't be the best?
You could have done that. Yeah, you could have done that. Yeah. It's permitted, right? Here in Australia, you could do it. So,
well, that's something I do say to my clients is I often will just talk to them a little bit about how the education works in the beauty industry, and how the special thing about TRUEBROW is that TRUEBROW is an extensive training course. Like, the hours and hours and hours that we put in to our brows is more than what I know of any other fee brows, or, you know, fee brows and microblade. You know, there's so many different little things, and I'm sure that you can climb a ladder, but the training that we have is just so extensive, and that it can only be like that because of its freehand design. So it has to be that extensive.
And I think also too, I love that. And I think also too, you know, you're dealing with the reality of being with a beauty brow professional that has got one client after the other, right? So for that beauty professional, if they don't get consistent feedback, if they're not in that open willingness to go, you know what, I need to be accountable to someone to keep me on, you know, offering my clients the best. What happens is people, because of the pressure of the next client and the next client, boy, have I been there. I mean, I can't even, if I think, I used to do clients every 15, 20 minutes, like all day, you know, whether it was the majority of them was brows, and it was just bang, bang, bang. You know, this is before we were tinting every single client. Do you remember that, Olivia? Like, you know, it was just like full on. And, you know, for me, I had to keep myself completely accountable to myself as a creator, but I know how challenging that is when you're under that pressure and you're in a situation where, you know what, you will default back to old habits, old behaviors, even subconsciously what you're seeing on Instagram, you start creating that, and you won't even know that you're not doing something that's actually the best that you can do. You know, I've actually seen people that have done even our training that have gone off believing that they're the absolute best. And I've seen their brow work in 2 years' time, and I think, whatever happened to what you were able to do? You know, they just default all the way back, because what you're actually dealing with is the internal environment. How does someone, you know, how does someone discipline themselves? How do they stay true under pressure? But if you've got like feedback coming in from educators, you've constantly got that person saying, oh, I think you've just leaned into a little bit of, you know, it's a little blocky. How about a little bit more flow? Immediately you're back on track again, you know. So our live on classes are that constant. That's why I developed them. Believe me, you know, remember I used to just do like 5 a week by myself in the beginning, you know, and I
remember that.
I don't even know how I did that. And I mean,
me neither.
They used to just be like full classes, like all the time, like the most amazing, amazing classes. But for me, it was just, I just knew that it was what was absolutely necessary for someone to be world class. And so I kind of stepped in and I did it. And they used to call them the love classes. So funny. Do you remember that? Do you like?
I do.
I would have people sending me messages and putting in, oh, you know, the love classes, and I'd say, did you mean to say the love classes?
I remember that.
Yeah, so sweet. So what are the other things, I guess, that you know, you could watch out for when picking a beauty professional? I mean, you know, it doesn't make what one person values wrong. I just want to be clear. We're not here bagging people, saying, you know, people that are in it for the money, that's the wrong thing. You know, I don't really care what people are in it for. They're going to attract the people that they will attract. It's completely cool and it's fantastic, right? That's fine. But if you're looking for the best, if you're looking for high quality, you're looking for people that absolutely make you number one, you're first, then you have to do research for that. You cannot take at face value what you're seeing on certifications that you're seeing. And, you know, one of the things even here, Sabrina, that happens with certifications is, you know, they just give them out. Right? There's an enormous amount of money in training. Lots and lots of money
to get that
training.
certificate.
Yeah, so, you know, people will pay thousands of dollars just because they think if they have that certificate on the wall, that means something. But I'll tell you what means something to me is the work, that's the beauty that is walking out, the results that are walking out of that salon. That's what means something to me.
I was going to say earlier, when Olivia was talking about social media and the platforms that people go to find their person, and how do you do that when it feels like you're actually swimming in an ocean? I don't even know how you do that. Personally, I've never used social media to find someone, but I'm also older than the people that now find social media to be, you know, an absolute necessity for life. I see it only as a necessity for my business. That being said, I think that referrals are the absolute most important.
Oh, I love that. How could we miss that? Oh, gosh, we're glad we've got her on today. Sabrina, right, aren't we?
I'm on today.
Absolutely. Word of mouth, like your best friend.
Word of mouth.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I want to just say something about that. I remember when I had my salon many, many years ago, I would just, I never, ever, ever, ever had to pay for a client, ever. But people would stop my clients at the train station, at work, you know, who does your brows? Who does your brows? Who does your brows? And because, you know, if they worked with them, the brows were always so consistent that, you know, like even if it wasn't the first time, the second time, they'd be asking them. And that is how I got most of my clients. What a wonderful idea, Sabrina, to bring to today's Beautilicious. It's so important. Look at the brows you're in love with that someone's wearing on their face, you know, and find out who does them, and yeah, it's a really good call, isn't it? It's really something important. And yeah, so what else have we got? We've got lots of comments here. Jennifer says the pressure, I can't believe I can read this, Jennifer, actually it's a little far away, but I think I can. The pressure of time, I relate to all of it. I love this. Sabrina, she says she loves you. So I think it's someone you know. So what about the rest of us, Jennifer? Just checking in. I'm only kidding.
Jennifer, is that Jennifer? Is that Jennifer? Well, I'm not going to say it. Hi, if that's Jen. Hi, Jen.
And Toby says he agrees with you. And then Tricia says, yes, how? So Tricia, tell us a bit more about that, because we don't know exactly. And Toby said exactly, Sabrina. I mean, my own husband isn't even really just saying anything about me. What's going on today? What about you, Toby? What about me? Maybe I need a drink.
Right? Yeah, well, you need to start day drinking.
You can have a mimosa in the morning, orange juice and champagne.
You could only on Wednesdays. Only on Wednesdays.
Really? Can I?
Oh, yeah. You can drink alcohol in the morning, Mum. Fine.
Oh, really? I can have alcohol in the morning? I don't even have alcohol in the evening. Like, I don't get it.
Well, I'm just going to say Toby will have his hands full for the rest of the day, but you can have a mimosa.
I love it. So has he written, so yes, how? And Jen says, love to all three of you. Oh, kisses to you too and love to you. And she says, hi, it's Jen. That means yes, Jen. You're right. So let's see if we can come up with anything else. So we've said referrals. That is absolutely key. You know, find out where the most beautiful brows are coming from. And, you know, then you really, it's about consistency in that case, you know, not that one day the brow looks good and the next it doesn't look so good. It's about consistency. And that's a fabulous way. And social media, yes, it's challenging. There is no doubt, you know, we have a smoke screen in front of us. And the other day, someone was talking about a photo of Kim Kardashian. I can't even believe I'm talking about her. I had a photo of her and her skin wasn't looking so great. And people were saying, you know, it was made up or whatever. And I just kind of think, you know, why don't we just give each other a break, you know, women a break? Like, you know, whoever says we have to be flawless, like our skin's got to be flawless. And I know I'm going on another topic, but I'm excited that I did because I really wanted to talk about that and I forgot. But why do we have to be flawless all the time? You know, our brows have to be flawless all the time. That's a definite. Our brows always have to be flawless.
The pressure.
But when it comes to other things, you know, I read this and I thought, oh, come on, women, just give yourself a break. Find a great expert. Find someone you really can depend on. And you're going to know soon enough. You're going to know about how they feel to you, how they greet you, the questions that they ask you. I mean, the way that we work with our TRUEBROW specialists and experts and salon owners, one of our key things is to teach them how to really connect with. Do you remember that, Sabrina, how much work we did with that, even in live classes, how to really bring back dignity to a consultation, how to have empathy for our clients, even those ones that believe their brows never grow back, and really, really deeply having empathy and let them kind of almost, you know, how would I say it? In a way, we don't want to make them wrong, you know, like if someone doesn't think their brows grow back, you have to just accept that's their reality, you know, and then you can delicately and lovingly support them to, you know, a new realization. But it's about bringing dignity back to a consult, to our treatments, the way that we treat each other. You know, you're going to know a lot about a beauty professional. Go for a consult first before you book in for anything. Ask for a consult about skin. Ask for a consult about your brows. Ask for a consult about any treatment, you want to come and have a chat first, get to know the person. Another thing for me is really to find high quality people, look at hygiene standards, look at, you know, all of these things are key, aren't they? They really, especially now, they matter more than ever before.
It could also be an interesting topic to get into, because social media, you have Instagram, like the smoke screen of Instagram, but you also have the part of Instagram that can really help people actually find someone amazing, because it is all photo based. Like even with hair, for instance, you know, people are able to now find hairdressers that are color specialists and actually do like amazing, you can just tell by their Instagram that they're the person to go to.
Yes.
You can, so there is also, there's like a flip side of Instagram where it's good to, you know what to look for, but then there's like, you know, even with the people that are talking about the Kim Kardashian with her skin, then there's like, you know, hundreds of thousands of people on Instagram talking about natural beauty. So there's like, it's kind of a double world in a way. It's like,
it is. And there, I guess what you're saying is there's something there for everybody, and it can also be a really useful tool, Olivia, right? Because I know you really love hair, because you were in the, you sort
even
of
like in the quality of someone's Instagram does in some way highlight potentially their quality as a specialist. I'm not saying to go by that completely, but if you can see that in someone's Instagram, like they have a sense of quality with the videos that they post, or, you know, that can also be, you know, an way to sort of judge, an indicator. That's a good word to use. Yeah.
Because I actually I really like that, because I think it all comes down to the detail and the professionalism. But then there's some really clever people too that are very professional, and it doesn't mean you should never consult. So I'm going to stick to that as being our biggest takeaway. Yeah, have a consult first. That's why with TRUEBROW we have our consultations where you get to connect, you get to meet the person. You also get to see if you're a fit. Hey guys, something really funny happened yesterday. I have to share this with you. I just love Bianca Baker. She's one of our TRUEBROW girls up in Mackay. And she, after the lockdown, Bianca decided that she was spending more time with her children, and she had a real flip around so many things. And I had a conversation with her yesterday, and she cracks me up. I mean, she is your typical glorious Australian woman. She's just the real deal, and she's so talented, and absolutely stepped into her education with us. And how she said she did it was that she stayed in the TRUEBROW lane. She just stayed in her lane, the whole time. But yesterday she said to me, oh yeah, she said, I'm fully booked until the end of the year. And I thought, oh, okay, that's pretty amazing, right? So fully booked. And she said, you know, Pia, sometimes my clients come to me and they say, oh yeah, I'm just thinking about henna or something else. And she'll say, oh, okay. Well, yeah, why don't you just go off and try it and, you know, see how you go. You might really, this is true. You might really like it. And, you know, and she says they come back to her always and they'll say, you know, but I love your design. I love your shape. And they don't get that right. But this beautiful, abundant way of just letting go. Is that not amazing? Letting her clients go and say,
let it go.
Just go. Because she's so clear on her value.
Yeah.
Oh, I was amazed. That
is amazing.
Thanks
for sharing that. That's so cool.
It was so beautiful. And it was kind of like, well, I'm not losing anything. Like, she knows what she does, and she has stuck to that TRUEBROW recipe, the TRUEBROW strategy. She hasn't wavered into trends, and she's just like, zoom, you know, all the way in. But I absolutely wanted to share that because I love that. And it's kind of like when you're so confident with what it is that you do and you get so good, you don't have an issue. You're not sort of sitting there trying to latch on. That's another thing that's really important too, is when you're picking someone is, you know, feel the vibe. A person's vibe it's a key thing, isn't it, really? You know, how, like I said before, how they greet you, how they treat you. One last thing I want to just share that really, you know, I've had, and I'm sure both of you have had the same, and really our audience and our listeners, I hope that they get something from this. one thing that impacted me very, very deeply early on in my career, when I was asked to go by one of Australia's top cosmetic surgeons, plastic surgeons. In fact, it was so long ago, Olivia, that I was actually, you were in my belly. I was pregnant to you, and I was contacted.
nice.
I was contacted by this his office, and I was asked if I wanted to go and spend a day in his surgery, because he wanted me to consult for him with my clients. In other words, use him as a referral. And I thought, oh, okay, why not? So I went and I spent an entire day in the operating theatre, and also in his clinic. And the only thing that stood out for me in that whole day was how this man was so focused on, rather than what was best for the woman, was purely on how many things can he do for her. And there was this layer of I kind of thought, I couldn't consult for him absolutely at all, because our values completely were not aligned. And so, I don't, it's fine. Some people thought that was fine, and I'm not in judgment of that, really. It just didn't work for me. So that's another thing that you have to be aware of is, his best interests. I don't know. I think that the scale was just a little bit just not, it wasn't equal. And I think you've really got to look for those beauty professionals where, you have this amazing kind of equilibrium balance, like she gets what she gets because she's the expert, but you get given absolutely everything you deserve. You've got to find those people. They're out there, they're beautiful, and they're waiting for you, but you've got to do a little bit of the research. You can ask us questions. You can even submit a question and anything that you want, so we can help you with that. But don't just walk in blindly, because you're too deserving of the very best to do that. And just because someone's got a certificate, just because someone's a beauty therapist, it doesn't make them an expert. I just want to have a little read here. Does TRUEBROW make the hair grow back, or is it similar to henna? Oh, Rebecca, great question. We are absolutely not like henna at all. We do not skin stain at all. We actually remove all of the stain of our tint off the skin before we begin to work on the brow. And who wants to answer that, Sabrina? Do we make the hair grow back? I want to stop talking. I really do.
To answer that, Sabrina, no, we don't make the hair grow back. The hair, what we do is design. And Olivia, you said something last week. I listened to you, and you said, it's very important when we start working with a client that we not get them, even if it is in our mind a restoration, we get them focused on design, and then the growth is a bonus. It's just a complete bonus. So we don't make hair grow back, but we continue to design the brow in such a way that we allow for the fullest potential of the brow to come in.
And it's kind of like a little, it's so dear. Olivia, have you got anything to add to that for Rebecca?
No, that was perfect.
I think that it's so hard for women to get this. And Rebecca, I love your question. Thank you so much. And Toby's making funny faces. I can see that because it's like really big. It's such a good question, and it's one that we have tried, so over the years to try and be able to relay that across to women, that it's not like we're waving a magic wand. Thank you, Rebecca. It's not like we're using serums or anything like that. What we're actually doing is TRUEBROW is the first body of knowledge that came into the world that is completely dedicated and devoted to working with a woman's natural brow. And that is on every level. That is on restoring it. Now, when you don't have the information, the education, the knowledge on how to restore, you will compromise because you don't know what else to do. So it's that knowledge. It's so entrenched and just with design. the design principles that
Mhm.
some of the most beautiful masterpieces around the world have been created from.
Mhm.
It is about flow. It is about our beautiful students accessing their inner flow and moving in that way to create beauty rather than thinking it through or using a ruler
Mhm.
or just stamping something on someone's face, using a stencil. Like, you know,
Mhm.
there's something so beautiful about your eyebrows that and so important to your appearance that's unacceptable to us. Like, that's like
Mhm.
we can't do that. And so it is a body of knowledge that has now for the last, well, it's been here for the last 18 years, but I've been sharing it for the last nearly eight with other
Mhm.
professionals. And it really is about a hair by hair creation of something
Mhm.
magnificent for every woman. These two women here that we have with me, that have graced me with their beautiful presence today, are absolutely like what they do with women's brows with the TRUEBROW body of knowledge that I was so blessed to bring in is astounding. And they're just two of so many. And we want to educate more of you. We want you,
Mhm.
all of you that are passionate, that want to do something rewarding and amazing, just come. You will never be let down. I can guarantee you that. And for women looking for real specialists, remember, do your research. And we're not saying TRUEBROW, we're the best, you know, at that. What we're saying is that we're a part of many other amazing beauty professionals that are aligned with what is best for their clients. You, the woman, have got to do your work. You've got to do your research and just don't walk around blindly. And it's like, I don't know, my father used to say to me, don't believe everything you read. Now with Instagram and Facebook, it's don't believe everything you see, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
Don't believe everything you see and don't believe everything you read, and don't believe everything you hear. Like, just question things a little bit, and
Mhm.
consults, referrals. These are the things that really matter the most. Sabrina, do you have anything for this week for our beautiful audience that is growing every single week, and it's so exciting? Hey, hi Melanie, how you doing? Good to see you on. That's adorable. Sorry, Sabrina.
No. I'm used to getting ignored. No, I'm kidding. I'm not at all.
I
I'm
would
not
never
at all.
ignore
I am
you.
kidding you. I'm kidding. No, I truly am.
No, I know.
No, I
Okay,
don't.
we've got
I
it.
really, I really think we've covered. I think we've covered it pretty well. I mean, I can't think of
Yeah.
anything that we've left out. I actually was thinking, like, one of the extra things I was thinking that I didn't say was about the women who had received certificates back in the beginning and then stepped away thinking that they were great. And then you look at their work today, it's nowhere near where they were or could have been. And you said it. So I didn't need to say it.
Did I say it?
Yeah.
I
Yeah, I
did
got
say
this
it.
big smile because I was thinking it and I was going to say it and then you said it. So yeah,
So
remember
you
we
just
were
said
talking.
it. You just said it again.
Yeah, well, I was reminding you of what I was going to say. Having fun now. My bedtime.
Have another drink. Okay, so are we allowed to have like alcohol on these like live
Of
Facebook?
course, there were tons
do
of
we need a
happy
li-
hours
do we
during
need like a-
quarantine.
We don't need like a license or something like to have a.
I think so.
What we need is
Olivia,
a license to be on Zoom,
Oh.
period.
Olivia, is there anything else that you would like to share? Share. I've just noticed that beautiful antique lamp that you have there. It looks like a microphone. Can you see that?
It does kind of look like a microphone.
It looks like she's got her microphone.
It's not, it's just a light.
That's beautiful. So have you got anything you would like to share? Even something you might like to say to your clients or to our listeners, or is there anything that you want to share with us? Because you're not going to be with us every single week, which is a little sad because we really kind of enjoy
Come on,
having you.
Livy.
Come on, Olivia. Does
Fun being
anyone
on
want
every once
Olivia
in a
to be
while.
on every week? Go on, say,
Yes,
yeah, we
yes.
do, yeah, we do.
You guys are so
That's
sweet.
right. Yes, yes, yes. And then she'll have to. Okay.
That's so sweet.
Is there anything, Olivia, that you'd like to share?
I honestly don't have anything in my head. to share.
Are you
But
empty?
that
You've got an empty head.
yeah, I don't really have anything like it's yeah. I just really enjoy being on here, and I support everything that you guys talk about and TRUEBROW. And actually, one thing that I wanted to say, seeing as
yeah,
She's not empty-headed.
Yeah, she's not empty-headed.
is that with the picking someone like what you have done, Elle or Mum, so you've sort of already helped everyone with that process by creating TRUEBROW, because without TRUEBROW in the brow part of everything in the beauty industry, that's what people find, and then they have a page or a platform that they can, you know, that tells them the quality, you know.
So it's like
you've made that. Yeah, it's a standard, like but you've also created that for people to be able to actually find something that is of really, really high quality, and that, you know, you can find people all over the world that have that same quality. So
that's really sweet, Olivia. Thank you so much. I'm going to take that as a compliment, and I'm going to finish off today by just saying that it's one of the hardest things I've ever had to do. But I've been blessed because I have drawn to me the most extraordinary women that have taken so much. To use the word pride, it almost isn't right, because pride can be a little egoic, but it's kind of like they've taken care. Thank you, Sabrina.
Taking care.
Thank goodness that. Thank goodness your head's not empty and you've helped me. But yeah, the care, the care. That, you know, like the dedication is, you know, and really have set, like Olivia was saying, a standard for the industry that I know the industry's been dying for. Like there's women in this industry that are so profoundly dear and beautiful, and they care so much for their clients, and sometimes they even put their clients above their own, you know, selves, which is not the right thing to do, by the way, ladies. Right. I have to teach you how not to do that. But, you know, this beautiful standard. And so, you know, I want to hold that, but I can only do that when the women around me are, you know, that you're the extension, all of you, of that. I can't do that on my own. Right. So that was the movement of TRUEBROW, which was to go out and actually find the women that were aligned. And that was really, really, really beautiful. And Toby said, Elle Wilson, he's sending me love hearts. Oh, that's so sweet. I'm going to give him a kiss in his office soon. But anyway, thank you, everybody, so much. He knew he had to put something about Elle Wilson there with kisses and stuff. Otherwise, he'd be in trouble. Thank you so much. We would like to hear from you. What are the questions that you want us to answer? What do you want us to speak about here when we drag Olivia back on? No, I'm only kidding, Olivia. Relax. I'm only joking. You don't have to come again. When we bring her back on as a special guest. But next week, Sabrina and I are going to be on. I know that you're going to be trekking up in, you know, somewhere in the, where are you going?
Oh, where are you going?
Me.
Yeah, you. Come back to us.
She said trekking. That's not me.
She's already gone. Where are you going? You're going off, aren't you?
I'm going backcountry camping with 2 friends and our dog. And we've never done it before, but we're going into the mountains, into the Rocky Mountains, and we're with a backpack and all the bears. Yeah, we'll have bear spray and stuff, and we're going to find this amazing lake.
Shotgun?
No shotgun. Yes. I mean, we could.
You should.
Can you imagine Nicholas with a shotgun?
You know, I heard that actually, yeah, like the spray really works well, and like hitting them on the nose, the bears, if they charge you.
You really don't want to get close enough to hit them on the nose.
If you touch that bear, Olivia, it's not, don't go, if you can close.
No, I'm saying, like, you know, you would play dead. You would do it like you walk away slowly.
I saw Revenant. Don't play dead.
No.
What is my daughter going to do? What's going on? What's happening?
No,
I
but
wouldn't let her
basically,
go if I was there.
a bear doesn't usually attack definitely not a group of 6 and a group of 5. It's so unlikely that a bear would do anything. They would just walk the other way. But if just say
what
they
about
did
pretty
do
girls?
something.
I love your sense of calm about it, Olivia.
Well, Olivia is such an adventurer. She's so adventurous.
I feel like if it was Nicholas and I would not feel as calm at all. But with 4 people and a German Shepherd, I just know that it's so. And then also Charlotte is going to have a bell on her neck. So she's just going to be running around and she's going to be scaring all the bears away because they just will move away if they
You sure she's not going to be like ringing and they're going to think, oh, there's a dog and people and they come? Like they could go the other way.
Maybe, I don't know. No, it doesn't happen like that.
But that sounds exciting. That's beautiful. So when you come back from that, and you haven't touched a bear on the nose, done anything close to being near a bear, you can come back here, you can tell us all about it, and also we'll have more questions. As I said, please put your questions in and let us know what you want to know more about, because, you know, we can talk about everything, anything and everything, can't we?
Yeah, we can. We're brilliant. I'm kidding.
You know what? I'm laughing, everybody, because yesterday I did a beautiful post on my Instagram and it said, "You're brilliant." So I'm thinking, how did you know that? Actually, Sabrina, Alice, you are brilliant. That is a fact. And you're absolutely gorgeous. Olivia, thank you so much. Please move that light because it's driving me ballistic as I'm looking at it and I keep thinking it's a microphone. That's it. Just do something with that. Girls, thank you so much, ladies. Thank you to our beautiful audience. We adore you.
Bye.
We are here for you and we'll be back again next week. Take care. Thanks, you girls.
Bye, guys.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye now.
Bye. Thank you.